Hey, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another video. Alright, story time. Hell yeah, I've done one of these in a while. I've told you a few stories now about my life in certain things that have happened, like the first time I got drunk, and very awkward theatre moments when I've been on stage and things like that are just so goddamn uncomfortable. But this one's one of the more wild ones. This one's like, I don't even know what happened. All right, it was insane. It literally was all at the back end of the night, and in the space of like a minute or two, just everything went awry. I don't know what happened, but it was absolutely nuts. So we're gonna go through it. All right. I mean, you've already read it in the title and everything, but just trust me, it's a wild ride. So to set the stage, all right, I live in the northeast of England. Okay. It's like the party capital of where I live. Like, there are clubs and bars in the town centre. There are so goddamn many. So as you can well imagine, on the weekend especially, it is ram-packed full of drunken delinquents. And I'm usually one of them. All right? Not necessarily on the weekend, because I always have my daughter on the weekend. So and to be honest with you, I don't drink all that much. But when I do, oh, you best believe I drink till I drop. Because, you know, go hard or go home, am I right? So, on this particular day, on this particular night out that we had, it was myself, my ex-girlfriend, my best friend, well, my three like closest best friends. We all went out, all right? Because it was our birthday, my ex's birthday. So, we go to my old house, the ones that you see in the old videos that I used to make. We all go out, we all meet up and everything. And we have pre-drinks, because I don't see a point in unfortunately, I'm not rich, all right? Shit's expensive these days, okay? So we always have pre-drinks. We'll go to the house. We'll get, you know, you spend 16, 17, 18 pound on a huge ass bottle like this big, or you can spend 20 pound and get like 3 double rums, double vodkas, double gins, whatever it is that you're drinking, and it's absolutely extortionate when you can spend just, like I said, 20 pound max on like a huge ass bottle that'll get you absolutely decimated before you even go out. It's working smart, not hard, all right? You save yourself a lot of money that way, but you also get yourself in the worst position that way. So, you know, it's kind of a, you know, weigh your options, really. Can you handle pre-drinks? Then I'd recommend you go for them. Can you not? Can you just go out and get drunk and then just ride the wave, ride the line? I can't do that. I always go over. I always go over the line. I don't know what it is. Like I don't have that point of drunkenness where I just like coast on by, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll not buy any more drinks. I'll just like if I've got a glass in front of me that's empty, I just all of a sudden I end up at the bar. Next thing you know, I'm back at the table and I've got another drink in my hand. I don't know where it came from. It just happened, right? It was just there. And who am I to say no to a drink appearing in front of me? You know what I mean? That'd be silly. So, yeah, so we're in the house. You know, we're pre-gaming, drinking. Everything's going great. We're having a laugh. We're having a good time. We always do when we're going out. And then, you know, we go out. And it's a good night out. We're having a laugh. We're in, like, the usual bars that we go to. And everything's going great. Okay? Then it gets to, I'd say 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, you know, super late. And like the latest bars usually close at 3 in the morning. There is a couple that are open till like 5, but you have to pay like £20 to get into them. And quite frankly, I'd rather not pay £20 to get into a bar. That's absolutely ridiculous. Unless like it's a huge night out, like a big, you know, there's loads of people with us, and you know, it's a big event. Like a massive birthday with like 20, 30 people there, then I'd pay to get in, because, you know, I'm not going to be the party people that's like, no, I'm just going to go home. Like, I ain't about that life. No, I'd pay the £20. But, you know, when it's just like all of us, it usually gets to about 3 in the morning, the free clubs will close, and then we'll just be like, yeah, let's just go home. So, we'll get a taxi home. We get there, and the place I used to live, we never used to go down, we never used to go in the front door, we never used the front door, we always used the back door, because it was like a back lane, so I could park my car at the back door, and then we would just go through there. So essentially the back door led to the kitchen, and that was just always what we used. We would very, very, very rarely would the front door be used. So we're going to be going in, and at this point, my ex is absolutely smashed. She is she can't even talk. Like, nothing but nonsense is coming out of her mouth right now. And like I said, there is currently myself, Kush, my friend, and Steven, my other friend. William bowed out at this point. So William, if you watch this, I'm sorry for calling you out. But William had bowed out at this point, I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm mixing nights out, because it could be happening. But I'm fairly certain this is one of the nights out where he was like, he wasn't really feeling it. So he was like, no, I'm not really all that into it. I'm just going to stay home. Like, you guys go out and have fun. And then we convinced him to come out. And then the taxi came along, and he couldn't fit in because there wasn't enough people. So one person couldn't, and he immediately was like, oh, it's fine, I'll stay. Like, I don't mind. And then just went back and went to sleep. So he managed to bow out of that one. So he's asleep in my house currently. And we, like I said, we all get out of the taxi. Demi, she can't even walk. Right? She's like incomprehensibly drunk right now. So I'm sitting there, you know, trying to help her out. And bear in mind, he dropped us off at the top of the hill, right next to my house is like 4 houses down at this point. Like, it's not that far. I can see my back door from here. And she just can't walk, and she ends up just sort of like her entire body just flops to the ground. And at this point, I'm like, well, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, I need help, because this right here, it's a mess. So there is a car at this point coming up the back lane, and again, it's like 2:30 in the morning. So it's not, you know, it's never gonna be an innocent bystander just casually driving around 2:30 in the morning, or the police. Even if it was the police, that would have been great. Cause I would have just been like, yeah, just can you help me get her to the house? Because she's absolutely smashed right now. So, anyways, it's kind of all of a blur. I'm not gonna lie to you. A mix of being drunk and everything just happening all at once. But we get up. The car comes along and stops, and they said something, and I said something back to them, and I cannot for the life of me. Like, I only know this because my friend was like, yeah, I think you said something to them. In all fairness, at first it looks a bit like, you know, they're good guys. You know, they're coming up. They see 3 men and 1 girl who is ridiculously drunk, lying on the floor. So it looks a bit of a weird situation going on here. They don't know me. They don't know that that's my girlfriend. So it looks a bit weird. But evidently, they then get out of the car, and there's 3 of them. So at this point, they get out of the car. The driver, who, bear in mind, is like 4 foot tall, it's hilarious, goes over to like Steven, and this is like from Steven's perspective, because obviously I wasn't looking at the time. I was trying to help Demi up off of the floor. So he goes over to Steven and just starts punching into Steven, but like sort of like hitting his stomach, and then is like trying to punch him, and he's sort of like punching up, because obviously me and Steven are like the same height. We're 6 foot tall. So he's sort of like punching up at his like face, and Steven's like, dude, what, like, just go, like, what are you doing? A mix of being drunk and probably just, I don't know, endorphins pumping through your body, I don't know. Obviously, you can't really feel it, so he's just like, dude, like, just go, what is this? What are you doing? Like, just leave, come on now. And then, like I said, at this point, I'm sort of bent over and I'm trying to pick Demi up off of the floor, and she is, like, obviously her body's just limp because she's not drunk, like she's just like lying there. And one of them comes behind me and just clocks me right in the jaw, like here. So I end up having like a big bruise like on my chin here. Well, like my mandible. So of course, with him punching me, I'm like, oh, what the fuck was that? So I put Demi down and I turn around to look at the guy, and there's 2 of them. Right? One of them is stood with his hood like all the way over his face. All I can say is like a tab sticking out of his mouth. So he's got like his hood like to here. So I can't see his face or like what's going on. And the guy that punched me is like stood here. You can't really see me right now because the camera's kind of, you know, a little bit too short. But he stood there like doing this shit. Like literally jumping up and down like this. Like, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I was like, what are you doing, man? I was like, chill the fuck. But anyways, at this point, I'm staring at them. I'm like, if you're gonna hit me, don't sucker punch me and then stand there looking like a tit. Like, you look ridiculous right now. They didn't like try and hit me again. Like I said, the other guy just sort of stood there in the background being his fucking hype man or something, and this guy's fucking skipping away, like just jumping, fucking trying to do some sort of backy hand mat fucking stance. And yeah, the smaller guy, once he sees the fact that his punches aren't really getting anywhere, and you know, Kush has turned around and being like, dude, just go, like, and what do you, like, just fucking go, like, this just came out of nowhere. You don't even know who we are. We are literally going home. Get back in your car and just go home. He then clearly got a bit offended at the fact that we either weren't getting scared or his punches weren't doing what he wanted them to do. I don't know. But he then goes to the boot of his car, opens it up, whips out a goddamn machete from his car, from his boot. That's like the blade's like this long. Like, that's a pretty substantial fucking weapon. Takes it out, puts it back, like literally like 2 seconds later, just puts it back, closes it. All of them scarper into the, well, if you don't know what scarper means, all of them like jump back into the car, like run back into the car, and then just speed off. Like out of nowhere, and we were all just like sort of like, what just happened there? What the fuck was that all about? Bear in mind, there's a Premier shop right at the top of this hill with a camera pointed down the hill. So they've definitely been caught on that camera with a fucking machete in that. So we didn't, but like had we like went to the police and be like, this has happened, like, can you come and like check the cameras? They would have been fucked, because their faces are all over that camera. Apart from the one guy who had his hood like over to here, I'm sure he'll be fine. But yeah, so that happened. We picked Demi up, we take it into the house again. We sort of like just very gently place her on the floor in the sitting room because she's just hammered, and she ends up just crawling her way to the bedroom. And we were just sort of stood there thinking like, what the like, Stephen he was just like, yeah, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. So he just kind of like walks over Demi's lifeless corpse, takes his coat off and everything, and then just sort of gets his shorts on, goes into bed, lies down. And then me and Kush, we put Family Guy on for a bit, and we were just sat there eating pizza because we had like a big spread out for obviously the pre-games. So yeah, we just sort of stood there and we were like, dude, what the fuck was that? What a night, man. What just happened? And we just had like a big discussion about it. And obviously in the morning we all came together and we just like, yeah, what was that all about last night? That was insane. Like, how? Like, it just goes to show, like, anything can happen. Like, we were literally just going home, and from the taxi, which again was at the top of the street, to our door, which was like I say, 4 doors down, anything can happen, man. And that could have went a lot worse. Like, when the guy like whipped the freaking machete out, had one of us have like been like, well, don't be a pussy about it. If you're gonna use it, use it. And then he did. You know, that could have been detrimental to our lives. You know, people die when they get hit by machetes, I've heard. So, you know, it's a lucky thing we didn't, and we were just like, what are you doing? And then he sort of just put it back and sped off. So it definitely could have went a lot worse than what it did. But thank fucking God it didn't. We survived, and it just kind of became one of those stories where in the moment it was a bit like, oh, this is just getting way out of hand. But then, you know, afterwards it's you know, you gotta laugh about it, because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So yeah, that was probably the most insane end to a night I think I've ever had. So yeah, absolutely nuts. But I just wanted to share that story with you guys. I like doing these little story times, and I was just trying to think of one that I could talk about, and this one popped into mind. And I honestly thought I had already spoke about it, but when I checked, apparently I haven't. So yeah, that one was a bit crazy. Nothing like that's ever happened since. I've had, like, you know, I've had many nights out. Tad bit of an alcoholic when I was younger, but no end to a night has been that crazy, I don't think, unless one pops into my mind, and that'll be another story time for another day. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It does help massively, and I do massively appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.